Good day and welcome to The State. We're glad you could join us this afternoon and thank you for choosing us. The show is brought to us by Christian Service University located in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. I'll take a quick break and I'll be back with the details. Stay.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825 or 0244 596603 or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's
Let us settle for W Briefs. On W Briefs, what we do is to give you an executive summary of the topic for discussion for the day. So we give you a snap peek of what we are considering this afternoon. And we are still on hooliganism. Around football. So football is undoubtedly the heartbeat of the nation, Ghana. Indeed, it is the only game that rallies all of us around the red, gold, green, and black flag, irrespective of which of the divides you belong to. Football is the heartbeat of the nation. But the game football in Ghana has in recent years seen a downward spiral, leading or resulting in the fans losing interest in the game. They attribute this loss of interest to the poor play on the field of on the pitch and hooliganism. You pay to go and watch football, and you are either sprayed with pepper, you are either sprayed with tear gas. So security, hooliganism, either you are attacked at the place or not. So it has been, and this subject of legalism in football has been persistent over the years. Several instances of violence, vandalism, and abrupt disruption of matches. We have recorded these in recent times. The Ghana Football Association, the body mandated to ensure that we have safety at our Premier League game centers, has emphasized strongly that this vandalism, this hooliganism at our field of play is tarnishing the image. It is affecting, and we must protect the image of football, and we have to look at the issue of hooliganism. Stadium attendance has also witnessed a record low in recent times. It could be largely what I attributed to earlier on, the poor play, and of course the lack of safety or the hooliganism at our stadia. Over the years, this our image that Ghana is a footballing nation, that it is a heartbeat that we enjoy, has been tarnished by violence, and this at our centers have otherwise affected the way the brand looks like. Businesses that could have supported or sponsored are seeing our game as unattractive over the period. Since 2019 and 2020, the league season, especially at the domestic front, we have recorded incidents of violence. At least 5 cases has been recorded at the women's level, at the Premier League, and even Division 1 and Division 2. We have recorded violence over the time. In the last decade, we have not been spared the scores of such unruly behavior at our match centers. Let me help. Let's go down memory lane and see. In 2014, a 21-year-old Kwame Cheidan, so an assistant referee, was attacked by fans at Bodi in I think Western region, Bodi, and his reason was that the people perceived poor officiating. So he was attacked, and this young referee, promising referee, died few days after the injuries that were lashed out to him. Again in 2016, Ankrah Hearts of Folk, the fans jumped onto the pitch after throwing missiles, water bottles on the pitch when they had a game with Wa All Stars, that now Legon City. And their reason was, of course, poor officiating. Ankrah Hearts of Folk was fined 12,000 cedis, and they were given a three matches ban in their home. Asante Kotoko supporter was shot in 2020 when they played against Brekum Chelsea at the Baba Sports Stadium. The fans again said Ankrah Kumasi Kotoko has lost against the visiting team, so there was violence, which escalated even after the game, that this young man was shot by the police. The eye was shot. Thankfully, he survived a surgery. But in the latest incident, a staunch Asante Kotoko, if you followed, realized that his popularly known as Nana Pole, he was stabbed just on the 5th of February between a Premier League match between Asante Kotoko and 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓. He has lost his life. He went to watch football, something he was very passionate about. He lost his life. On the back of Nana Pole's incident and the others that have chronicled, two giants, particularly the 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓 incident, they were perceived to be rivals. Ankrah Hearts of Folk, Asante Kotoko. They have joined forces to issue a statement asking that the Ghana Football Association puts in measures to ensure safety is improved at our match centers. But many have expressed doubt that it's much ado about nothing. Ghana Football Association will not do anything. If there's anything to be done, when we had the May 9 stadium disaster in 2001, what has happened? What has changed? We are still recording violence. But the question we asked this afternoon is that has the Ghana Football Association, the body mandated to ensure that we have safety at our stadia, have they put in measures, structures to maintain sanity so that we can go and watch football in peace and return home? We ask this question and find out. Stay with me. I'll be right back to introduce my guests.
Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share a home. I love you more than my hometown. Seriously? This February, the month of love, you will hear sweet words from your loved ones. But are they real? Are they genuine? Do you want a place you can have some time with friends, couples, and loved ones? Join the White Connect team on the 8th of February 2025. If you're a couple, on the 15th of February 2025. If you are single, come to the premises of Westland Television at the Grand House, located in between Delta Capital and the Holy Spirit Cathedral at Accra, from 1:30 p.m. as we brainstorm on marriage issues and matters at the heart of many singles and couples. There will be a lot to drink and a whole lot to talk about. The rate is a cool 100 Ghana cedis for couples on the 8th of February and 50 Ghana cedis for singles on the 15th of February 2025. Don't miss out. It's going to be fun and lovely. For more information, call us on 0243 160 911 or 0264 820 227. See you.
welcome back. On the stage this afternoon, we are still looking at the subject of hooliganism, but this time around, hooliganism in football. And in the past decade, we have recorded 5 incidents or more of violence at our match centers, and something that is affecting the interest that we have as a nation and as a people, where fans tell their people they are going to enjoy their passion, football, and they go, either they are stabbed to death, some have their eyes shot, and then some have missiles thrown at them, tear gas sprayed at them. And we're asking that Ghana Football Association, the body mandated to ensure that our Premier Leagues are safe and sound, what are they doing to maintain sanity so that hooliganism will be nipped in the bud? That's what we are considering this afternoon, hooliganism in football. The show is brought to us by Christian Service University. Christian Service University is located in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. It is an evangelical liberal arts institution established 50 years ago to train men and women with ethical values and transformational leadership in Africa. Admissions for the 2024-2025 academic year is in progress for undergraduate and postgraduate programs. CSU offers dynamic and industry-driven programs in nursing, midwifery, business administration, communication, planning, and computer science. For more information, please contact our admission relations officers on 02462 75375, 024 015 4825, or 024 6603. Or visit our website on www.csu.edu.gh. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa. CSU, the university of choice. So this afternoon we will be joined on Zoom by astute personalities in the space we are talking about. We have a retired referee who has seen it all and has been in the game and has managed the game over the years, and he's a Methodist too. So we've churned out people who have won awards for being referees with integrity and distinguished themselves over the years. He will join us via Zoom. We'll also have an esports journalist with us, Charles Osea. He will join us. And then we have Richard Nunu. He is a retired referee, joining us to have our discussion. It promises to be an interesting discussion. It promises to be an interesting discussion. And I want to tell you that don't move, because we're going to see the different angles. If you have not followed what has been transpiring so far as hooliganism is concerned, this is the time to stay with us. So Thomas Nunu is with us online. He is a retired referee. Thomas Nunu, sir, good afternoon and welcome to the state. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Great. Pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. So first off, let me begin with you. I chronicled some of the events that we have experienced, and I want to believe that even when you start with your preliminary comments, you cite instances where your colleague referees have been attacked one way or the other in the line of duty. In the latest, let's start from the latest development, the 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘 incident. Did it come as a surprise to you that we didn't begin the year hoping that we're going to have this unfortunate incident at our match center? How did it come to you?
Thank you very much. And regards to your viewers, indeed, it has come as a great surprise, as a very great surprise, because we've been witnessing some level of violence, from some level of violent incidents over the period. But it has not gotten to the extent that we saw at 𝗟𝗓𝗓 the last time. It hasn't been so painful to that extent that sometimes a fan who basically had nothing to do with the main characters of the game will rather be subjected to this kind of situation to the extent that he is killed. So the issue is that main characters may be players, may be administrators, owners of teams, or match officials who, for one reason or the other, people may not be so satisfied with their decisions. But for a fan, it has come as a great surprise that you go to watch football and then you are killed. I mean, it's a great surprise.
Mr. Nunu, so in your position as a referee, when you mass up, when you put on your suit and you pick up your whistle and you head toward the center line, do you bother about security? Do you bother that you might take a decision that will anger the fans and then you might end up being attacked on a regular day?
Yes, because in the first place, part of the football protocols. We all don't think the same. We all don't reason the same. We all don't perceive things the same. So as part of football protocols, all key stakeholders must be protected. And that is how come with the GFA rules, there should always be adequate and efficient security. So it's very important. Well, you have the passion to do a game, but human beings as we are, some think differently and some have different characters. Their characters is to foment trouble. So for those who would want to foment trouble, then we must get people to take care of them. That's the security.
Okay, Referee Thomas, no, just a minute. We have Michael Akomia. Michael Akomia is a sports journalist. He's joining us via phone. Let me take a start, and I'll come back to you, Mr. Nunu. Mike,
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on the state.
Thank you once again. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I have on the other side of the line a retired referee, Thomas Nunu. And we began the discussion by looking at the hooliganism in our football. And the latest incident being the Nswatreman one that we witnessed, unfortunately. And I was asking him whether he thought for once that we were going to have a repeat of hooliganism beginning the year 2025, fresh like that. How did the news come to you?
Very good afternoon once again to your cherished viewers and listeners. I would say I am not surprised with the happenings when it comes to hooliganism in Ghana football. We failed to address the problems when we felt the situations we saw earlier on were not enough to do with and arrest one or two people and jail them. We allow things to move as it has been moving since those days. It did not start now. We've seen Kaladan Park, we've seen Bekungodi City Park, we've seen Doma, we've seen a lot of situations happen at many different centers in the Ghana Premier League. But we don't prosecute anyone, we don't jail anyone, we don't bring out anyone. And this is really a huge kind of example we are setting for ourselves that has brought us to this stage where we have a fan that has been killed by stabbing due to hooliganism. I will blame it on three things. One, the venues of these things. When you go to the venues of some of these things, you wonder how the club licensing committee was able to approve of this venue for top professionals to come around to come and play a Ghana Premier League game, the highest professional league game in the country. You look at such centers, the dressing room, the security situations, how closer the supporters are to the players or even closer to the dressing room, you ask these questions a lot. We've overlooked it, we've watched it happen time and time and over again, and it still goes on, and this is what we bear as a fruit in the long run. Number two, I think our failure to identify the culprits whenever they cause trouble at venues is also a major problem. As it stands now, we have not been able to identify A, B as the exact person that stabbed Pole. And it is a problem that is happening everywhere. When a situation happens at a venue with the Ghana Premier League or even Division 1 or Division 2, the police struggles to get the person who was involved because the whole community is hiding the person. The police who is supposed to arrest the culprit sits at the same spot with the person to discuss issues, to talk about life and enjoy life in the evenings. So how can he show you that this person is staying here, this person is residing here, go here, you can pick him up, this is an intel we have, so you can go to this place and you're going to get a person. We find it difficult to reach such a conclusion when you want to arrest such a person. So it's very difficult. So these things will keep on happening, will keep on happening, will keep on happening, and keep on happening.
Right.
Number 3, I think our way of security at various venues is quite problematic. I think going forward, we should look at not allowing the home team to take charge of security protocols during the day in any game. It should start from the Premier League down to Division 2 or even Division 3. Because the moment you leave it into the home team's hands, you have a trouble in terms of how you are going to gather those who are capable for it, those who are capable to make sure that at the end of the day there is peace and you can play your game and move and nobody will be hurt. And these clubs also suffer from finances. So if you look at a team like RTU, they can't even pay their players. And you ask RTU to provide security at the end of the day. How much are they going to pay? What are they going to do? They are not going to pick the best of the best. So you are always going to find troubles with these things. So these 3 things, we must look at it well. In the long run, try and deal with it and make sure that we find a solution towards it so that we can be free. I'm so happy Referee Nuno is here. And some of these situations, I would love to hear him speaking from the referee's perspective, because some of this anger comes as a result of the decisions that is taken on the field by the referees, through infringements, through penalty shootouts, through anything that comes on the field. So if they fail to control them, it becomes very difficult for the supporters to control themselves in the stands in terms of reacting to the kind of situations they've seen happen on the field. So I'll be very happy to listen from his part how they can also play a role to make sure that whatever they do on the pitch does not translate into an offensive action by the supporters who can actually attack the opponent side any day, anytime, with any situation that comes around with it.
Yeah, right. Thank you. So, Referee Nuno, you heard Michael throw the ball right to you that he thinks that it's the decision. The referee is the one who determines the direction of the game. So if the fans are agitated, it is your decision, your actions and inaction. So it's thrown it back at you. You agree that the referees are the center of how the game goes and whether the crowd will be riotous or will be peaceful?
All right, but that's quite interesting. In the first place, a lot of factors account for that. Referees are humans, and per the game, referees are just like players. So will you say that because a player shot the ball wide and did not score, it is a recipe for you to attack their team or the other team or the team officials? No. The football is such that you can score. You can be the best player. You lose a penalty. So the referee also may be in the position to commit an error or two. But it is not the justification that you must attack and you must indulge yourself in violence. No. Sometimes we see games and the referees have done very well. Yet, the home team wants a win at all costs. The referees do very well. There, I'm not running away from the fact that sometimes there are some decisions from the part of the referee that do not go well. No, I'm not saying that. But most times, it is because a team must win at all costs. And football is not like that. You may win, you may draw, or you may lose. The second area is that the fans themselves who engage in such hooliganism do not understand the ethics of the law. They don't. So if a referee awards a penalty against the team, then hell should break loose. No. As to whether the penalty was justified or not, or an offside is taken against a team as a last minute when they think they're going to equalize or so, well, that is the law. Those are the laws of the game. You have to get yourself abreast with the laws. So if you don't get yourself abreast with the laws, you might think that you are being cheated. They are in quotes. But, however, that is a reality, or that is what the law says. So, to some extent, decisions on the field might agitate fans, but it is not a justification for you to be violent.
So, Ref, let me check with you pre-event. Are the referees or the administrators, do they take you to do an assessment, risk assessment. They tell you that in case of anything, this is where to go. Do you do that? In the event where you are attacked, you run to the policeman. Where do you go to? The pre-event. Are you exposed to any security plan in the event where you are attacked?
Yes, very well. And so, as part of football protocols, there is a stakeholders engagement. We normally call it the technical meeting. So, at a technical meeting, all these measures are spelled out. And for every category of match, you have a number of security personnel that must be there. So, we have the category A, category B, and category C matches. And then they ensure that the police or whichever security agency or apparatus are present. So that is done. You see? And then let me go back to something that my brother, the journalist, touched on. You see, now, the Ghana Football Association has a security committee, so to say. I've forgotten the full name. There's a security committee in place that takes care of some of these incidents, and to the extent that they involve the police to conduct full-scale investigation and even go to court to get this the suspects or whoever prosecuted. Maybe later on I'll share with you that currently there's one going on. But you see, so with some of these issues, you know, the wheels of justice grind slowly. But once people are captured on camera, and then we have all the evidences. Per the security committee headed by DSP Linda, forgotten the other name, Lydia Donko. Now, the GFA and the Ghana Police Service have gone very far. And I'm telling you, as I'll share with you an issue, a case that is in court right now, for which the suspects are attending court sittings regularly. But again, justice, this incident is almost a year now. After investigations and blah, 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 now we are going before court. So we are getting there. And I believe one day, when some of these people are identified and through the court processes, they are prosecuted and maybe put behind bars, we'll see a drastic end to it.
We'll see a drastic end to it. So let me come to you, Michael, quickly. Ref touched on CCTV camera, and well, he has said that referees are humans. They in the course of making decisions, they might not favor a particular team or the other. That is how come they are agitated, but that is no justification for attacking them or attacking anybody. Let me check with you, Mike. You go round, I'm sure, with the teams, and you.
Of course.
We have about, let me say on record, 25 stadia or stadiums, if you want to say. The Baba Yara is the Ankrah, Ankrah, Tamale, Esepon, and all that. Do we have CCTV cameras at this site where it can help in investigating who did what and who didn't do what?
For the stadiums, yes, but as to how active it is also another question we can ask. But for the parks, I'm not so sure about that. You can't have a CCTV camera at Doma looking at the park and the posture of it. CCTV camera at Brokum Chelsea. Where exactly are you going to put it?
Just a moment. It's not about a CCTV camera. So the cameras that are used in capturing events of the field, that's what I'm talking about. So when you are captured by the camera, and then those cameras we use in sort of filming these league matches, a number of them, there are many. So you will come to the Ankrah Sports Stadium, Baba Yara, and blah, blah, blah. You'll find about 3, 4, or 5 cameras positioned. Definitely they will be captured.
Okay.
Some of these things,
when the incidents are happening, all cameras will be zoomed to the same place.
Okay, so referee, let me hear Michael. Yeah, Michael, please land, make your point.
Okay, when you have these cameras on the field, we have on-field cameras, we have other CCTV cameras behind the stadium, and where some of these unscrupulous acts happen. To be very honest with ourselves, most of the cameras around the pitch is really focused on what is happening on the pitch. Normally, some of these situations, in terms of beating up referees, beating up some of these people, some happens on the pitch. But some also happen in the dressing room, or even the tunnel before you come onto the field, or even just after the game, behind the park or even the stadium. That is where some of these situations happen. Personally, I don't have any problem with the cameras on the field, what they capture and most of these things, because sometimes you get the evidence to see whatever that is going on the pitch. So, for example, the fight between the 𝗟𝗜𝗩𝗘 players and Kumasi Asante Kotoko players, it was captured on camera. We all saw it because there was Globe TV around trying to take the match, coverage and everything. But whatever happened behind the scenes, whatever propelled the anger, where Kwesi Appiah was not allowed to go into the dressing room, whatever happened in the dressing room, that particular area, what happened at the VIP? What was the discussion over there? The signs that were going on, which camera is going to show you that? Unless you fix some of these things over there in CCTV cameras to make sure that they capture some of these moments, that not even a single pin can drop without you knowing or even seeing, to correct any problem that you are going to have. But look at us. This is our clubs. They can't even, some can't even pay their players. So how do you expect them to fix a CCTV camera? And it's quite frustrating and worrying with how we've done our things as a country. In managing the professional league, we want to see the best out of. You see most of these things outside countries where CCTV cameras are everywhere. That is why when you go to Tottenham, when anything happens, there is a CCTV camera that can actually capture one person that said a certain word, or someone that actually behaved in a certain way that they could bring him out and ban him from the stadium for like 2 years or 3 years. We need to do some of these things to help us.
So viewers, if you are just joining us, you are on the state, and this afternoon we are looking at hooliganism in football. We are coming from the backdrop of the latest incident between the Asante Kotoko and the 𝗟𝗓𝗡 match that ended up having a passionate fan being stabbed to death. And we've chronicled some events where we've had violent clashes, so to speak. We've been joined via Zoom by a retired referee, Thomas Nunu, and also Michael Akomia, a journalist who's also seen it all, gone around and witnessed some of these things. We are looking at the security measures that are put in place to ensure that what unites us, that passion of the nation, what makes us all bury our differences and jubilate. Football, it's presented on a plate that is nice, that when you are going to watch football, you do not fear that you might not return, you might be attacked, pepper might be sprayed, tear gas might be sprayed, you might be harmed because of what you perceive to be poor decision of the referee. That is what we are looking at. And we've looked at some of the major security issues, and we are considering, we'll look at the repercussions and how to address them going forward. So ref, let me come to you quickly. Referee Nunu, the parameters, we are still looking at security. You have some fans running to the pitch. You see some policemen helpless, cannot do anything. Again, the dressing room, you can have fans have access to those places. Don't they put you in danger?
Absolutely. Absolutely, you said it all. So there are restricted areas as far as the games are concerned. For those areas in the dressing rooms, we have accredited people who should be there. But when you go to some of the venues, you find that all unaccredited people find themselves over there, and they are the leaders. Some call themselves macho, some call themselves team security, and that kind of thing. And that is not allowed. That is not allowed. So for me, I believe that we need a lot of education, lots and lots of education to our fans, to our team officials. So when it is not your duty to be at any particular zone or any location on the field, be it the dressing room, be it the inner perimeter, you don't find yourself there. A lot of education must go on. The police must be well resourced. This is a conscious effort to resource our police and our security personnel who are involved in providing security at all the stands, not only for referee, but for the fans and the players and other stakeholders alike. We should properly resource them. If you can get issues and equipment that detect people who are carrying weapons and knives and the like to the stadium, they are detected and taken away from them. Then finally, I'll also talk about the prosecution regime. It must be swift enough so that if you cross all these two barriers, then the final one, you must be prosecuted. And it must be swift enough to offer a level of deterrence to other people.
Mike, let me ask you, referee mentioned prosecution. Are you aware of anybody who was unruly, had harmed somebody, has been handed over to the police, and something came out of it?
You see, I've not actually seen such a thing happen before. Most of the time, they are taken to the cells on granted bail on the same day, and they go home and they'll be reappearing in court maybe week after week or even month after month. But jailing someone or prosecuting someone has not been someone I've actually seen in such instances. But one thing I've actually realized is we play our league games on Saturdays and Sundays. Look, this is how the situation happens. If you play a game on Saturday and someone causes trouble, the only thing you can do now is take the person to the police station. The court does not work on Saturdays. The court does not work on Sundays. So the moment you take the person to the police station, we have a law that after 24 hours, you are supposed to grant the person bail. So by 24 hours, if you are supposed to grant the person bail, his people, the whole community will come around the police station. They will start asking questions. Why have you arrested this? Why have you arrested that? Who do you think you are? Who do you think? All of these things will be going on. Then the big man will come in. You take money, you come in, officer, this is my boy. We'll make sure that you process him to court. But today, don't let him sleep here. Let him go. Then the person goes back home. Then the court issue starts. Then today you go, tomorrow you go. There's not going to be any jail term. At the end of the day, it's going to be a fine. And when he's fined, he pays it and he's gone. And he will do it again. But if you're having courts that are working 24 hours, courts that are working for the whole day, on Saturday, you get the person, you prosecute, you do a lot of things, you process it. By the time the community people will come, you would have already done the prosecution already, based on the evidence you have and the things that the person has done. But per our system and everything that we do here, I think the best way to do is to make sure that even if the person goes to court, the needed evidence and everyone that can help us push to the limit, to the end of the case, and get something out of it. And if the person needs to be jailed, we have to jail him so that there will be sanity in our game. People don't trust our league. People don't trust our judicial system. This is where the problem is also coming from. Even if the person goes, people don't trust our judicial system. They don't trust our league. And these are huge problems. Until we make an example of one, I'm telling you, nothing is going to change.
Referee Nunu, this is the time for you to share the information you have that indeed you are privy to an ongoing prosecution. What is happening with that case, and what case is that?
Oh, I will share with you. I won't share it on air because it's still before the courts. And I tell you that there's one. I'm saying on authority that there's one currently going on. Like just as my brother said, it's not that we don't trust the judicial system, but it's grind too slowly. The processes just grind too slowly. So if it is a special court or something to take swift care of some of these situations of hooliganism or hooligans who are put before the court, that will be very fair. Are you getting it? I'm telling you on authority, and I'll share with you later. I don't want to put it on air for now.
But there's a case that is being handled by the court.
Yes.
And
that was superintended by the security committee, safety. The name is the Safety and Security Committee, and we have gone through prosecution, and we are at the courts at the moment. And those people who are involved are currently facing the courts. But for the purposes of court issues, I don't want to make it
so that we are not charged with contempt. But if it is not within the purview of contempt, I was interested in whether it is between a fan and a fan, or a fan and the police, or a club and a club.
It's getting interesting. I'll share it with you on the backlines.
I hear you because I don't want, after appearing on this show, they hold you for contempt. So we'll trust that the system takes care of the cases that must be taken. But before I'll take a quick break. Michael made a brilliant observation that we play our games usually over the weekend, and then the judicial structure is such that 24 hours you can't process that. So is that to mean that it will be useful if we play all our games weekdays?
Oh well, no matter what times we play, once a crime is committed, it is committed, no matter which day. So where the judicial system It's like that within a particular period, you can hold somebody, and then beyond that period, you will have to grant bail. And well, that is the system. We are not talking about the judicial systems and that kind of thing. That is the process. But we are saying that at the end of the day, we must see that justice is served, and justice is served more quickly to serve as the deterrent.
Great. So viewers, we will take a quick break, and when we come, we'll look at the emergency response at our league centers, because the Poli incident, realized that the national ambulance had issues with responding because of the numbers that they had there on the pitch. When in the event of emergency, how prepared is our system? Then we look at remedies. We have a new minister for sport. What are the remedies that we'll prefer so that we ensure that hooliganism is brought to the barest minimum at our league centers, so that when we go to watch football, we will go and return in peace, enjoying the match that we paid or we got there to watch. I will take a quick break. I'll be back, and then we will delve into the remedies and emergency response. Please don't go away. Stay with me.
The Christian Service University, a fully chartered private university in Ghana, is inviting applications for admission. Undergraduate programs include BSc Nursing and Midwifery, Computer Science, Information Technology, Bachelor of Business Administration, BA Communication Studies, Planning and Social Development, and Theology with Administration. Postgraduate programs include MSc in Accounting and Finance, Monitoring and Evaluation, Corporate Planning and Governance. We have MA MPhil Communication Studies, MA Christian Ministry with Management, Event Management, MPhil English and Mathematics Education. With quality, faculty and state-of-the-art facilities, we blend academic work with entrepreneurial mindset in all our programs. For more information, please call 0246 275375, 0240 154825, or 0244 596603, or visit our website www.csuc.edu.gh. CSU is located at Odenaho Kwadaso on the Kumasi Obuasi Road, 100 meters off Star Junction. Choose CSU today to secure the future of Africa.
And to make him better known. That's
Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share a home. I love you more than my hometown. Seriously? This February, the month of love, you will hear sweet words from your loved ones. But are they real? Are they genuine? Do you want a place you can have some time with friends, couples, and loved ones? Join the Y Connect team on the 8th of February 2025. If you're a couple, on the 15th of February 2025. If you are single, come to the premises of Westland Television at the Grand House, located in between Delta Capital and the Holy Spirit Cathedral at Ankrah, from 1:30 p.m. as we brainstorm on marriage issues and matters at the heart of many singles and couples. There will be a lot to drink and a whole lot to talk about. The rate is a cool 100 Ghana cedis for couples on the 8th of February and 50 Ghana cedis for singles on the 15th of February 2025. Don't miss out. It's gonna be fun and lovely. For more information, call us on 0243 160 911 or 0264 820 227. See you.
Back from the break on the stage this afternoon, we are looking at hooliganism in football, and we've looked at some of the security lapses that has exposed match officials, that has exposed fans, that have exposed any other stakeholder who is involved in one game, one premier game or the other. And then we have come from the back of the latest incident that saw, or that unfortunately led to the stabbing of Poli, that Asante Kotoko fan at Nswatreman and other incidents that we have recorded that we are not so much impressed about. We've had on Zoom with us Thomas Nunu, retired referee, and then Michael Akomia, who is a sports journalist. We've been looking at the issues surrounding security in general, hooliganism at our Premier League centres, and they've shared insightful thoughts on what happens on the ground, on the pitch, on the field of play, outside the field of play, how it could be handled. And just before we went on break, we were looking at the issue of those who perpetrate this harm. What is the prosecution process like? And of course, the referee said that the wheels of justice grind slowly. And then what could be done if you are found culpable? What does the law do to you? So those are some of the issues that we are looking at. So we are here to look at this segment. We will look at the emergency response as we've had recorded in police incident, and then also the remedies going forward. We've had Thomas Nunu, retired referee, with us. He had to unfortunately leave to officiate a match, duty calls. But Michael is with us. So Michael, before we went on the break, we looked at the prosecution aspect of people who are found culpable. Let's look at emergency response. Emergency response, and this one I ask you with a view of maybe a major stadia, so to speak, because like you mentioned earlier, those parks and fields, it's difficult to get some of the facilities available there, but those that we have properly built, so to speak, for that purpose. The emergency response with the polling incident, the ambulance service is telling us that they had 4 men detailed to the field that day. 4 men, and there were so many casualties on the pitch, so the 4 people were attending to casualties until they were called that the young man who has been stabbed beyond the pitch, they had to go and attend to him, and they sent 2 of the 4 of the men there, and delay could have resulted in providing care to save our brother, so to speak. You have followed matches, you've been to most of the game centers. What has the response been like, emergency response, and which one should be the standard?
You see, lack of responsibility and accountability is a major sickness in this country. People are not ready to accept that they were wrong. People are not ready to open up and say that we got this wrong. I'm not buying into any cook and bull story when it comes to how medication was delayed when it comes to the situation of polling. But in a nutshell, the whole Premier League suffers from some of these things because whilst the game is ongoing, and you have these medics also watching the game, no attention to whatever that is happening beside the field, no attention to whatever that is going on behind the field. There is no kind of sensitivity towards any risk, concerned with the situation that is happening as at that moment. If you take the Nswatreman and Kotoko match as the steady case after we've been using for some time now, you would understand that when there was a ball and this action here and there, people were fighting here and there, there was a need for all the medics on the pitch to be very sensitive to whatever was going to happen within any moment in time and put their eyes everywhere. More like what the police was supposed to do at the end of the day. But they failed to do that. May I believe when they come to work, they should concentrate on their work. You did not come here to come and watch games. You came to look after our health. So when you come, pay attention to that. Execute your duties, and at the end of the day, you go back to your hospital and everything will be fine. Because if you are stressing on some of these matters, but rather we will say things you are not supposed to say.
You're not supposed to say.
But it hurts. These same things are happening in our hospitals, so I'm not surprised it's happening at the stadiums. If you have been to the hospital before, bro, some of the attitude of these nurses, some are very professional, they attend to you, some of the doctors are very professional. But these attitudes of overlooking people's health situations where others go through and they die at the end of the day, the negligence, the insensitivity, most of these things happens across the nation. So I'm not surprised that it's a disease that has entered into these medics who even come to the stadium, and they are concerned is watching the football games.
Viewers, we are joined by a legend on this very discussion. He wears many hats, but this afternoon I think he comes in as a sports person, somebody who has seen it and has been in the game. Moses Fuameni. Sir, good afternoon and welcome to the state. Glad to have you.
Oh, well, good afternoon. And to your listeners and your viewers and anybody who might be on the other line.
Great. So we have Michael Akomia, he's a sports journalist. We had earlier on Thomas Nunu, retired referee, helping us on this subject that we are looking at. So sir, I will indulge you, or let me say engage you, to have your take on hooliganism in football in general, coming from the backdrop of what we just experienced last Sunday, leading to the stabbing of a passionate fan. Your take on the whole subject?
Well, the thing is, I mean, sports is a very emotional thing, and all over the world, it's not just Ghana. You've got to see, the angle from which sports fans coming. You have two contending parties. Everybody standing behind the team that he or she supports. And sometimes these things can explode. And so at the very highest level, FIFA has got rules in terms of safety and security. And there are protocols to be gone through if you want to resolve some of these issues that will occur on any match day. The point that I'd like to make is that in Ghana, we had an experience of a huge tragedy when we experienced the May 9th disaster. And there was a whole commission of inquiry which was set up that has set out the rules and the structure for safety and security in Ghanaian football. Let me also state that this matter of safety and security, it goes beyond the Football Association. Football people all over the world, and even people, they tend to think that they are the alpha and the omega when it comes to these matters, but they are not. Because sport itself is an incident of sovereignty. That is, countries have got citizens who want to engage in sports. And the organization of sports at the local level and at the national level gets into the subcontinental, the continental, and the world level. I have suggested, and you can get it in the report of the Commission inquiry on what happened at the World Cup, that this must be controlled by the United Nations, so that you don't have one private association that everybody joins dictating to sovereign countries, and that features into the way we look at safety and security. Because if you limit it to, let's say, the home team, you have to provide for security and safety at the place, the number of ambulances that have to be there, the number of policemen that... Look, the teams are not as endowed as we all know. So if you leave it to them to bring 120 policemen, as this match being a category B match involving Asante Kotoko entails, how do you expect a man to do that? They can't do it. So really, it goes beyond them. Because even if the Ghana Police Service can afford 120 policemen, they can't come from the Sinyani area. They have to look for more people. Because what if the other security issues in the Sinyani or the Broad Harbour region, the Bono region, that demand other security personnel? So it is cross-sectoral. And so my own view is, coming from the report of the Okujeto Commission, safety and security should go beyond the Football Association, such that with such things, the national security should get involved in it, the police establishment should get involved in it, the ambulance service should get involved in it at the national level. So the decisions in respect of security and safety should not just be left with the Football Association alone. And I think that is the way to go.
And sir, the point is well noted, but we know, I'm trying to hazard a guess what the response of the police and the ambulance. They're going to complain about the strength of their numbers, because if you are playing league matches all dotted across the country, and the ratio of a policeman to civilians or to the people, ambulance would say we don't have this, and then all of that. Aren't we going to be faced with the same challenge because they cannot cover all the games?
No, you're right. What that means, and I have said it over and over again, security should start with the supporters themselves and how they educate on the class, how they go through the process of educating the supporters to know that, look, we are all in a football match. We are all going to enjoy ourselves. Let's not go, you might win, you might lose, or you might go. So I must be honest with you, because nowhere in the world provide for security at every game. Look at the Super Bowl, which is going to happen now. Can you imagine hundreds of thousands of people going to be in New Orleans? Even the United States cannot provide security for everybody.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think it starts from the supporters themselves, how we educate ourselves. And the example is there for all of us to see. Look, since the incident on the 9th of May, Hearts and Kotoko matches, if you have noted, attention, sometimes there'll be a lot of excitement, but you can see there's never been any rioting. It has all died down because the two clubs and the supporters have realized that if we're not very careful, we're all going to run into trouble.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Look, nowhere can you have the resources be so expansive that you can cater for every security situation. So it starts with us, the supporters. It starts with us, the media. We need to educate people to understand that, look, they're running this so that we will all entertain ourselves and enjoy ourselves. Let's not turn it into a life and death matter.
Right.
That, I think, is also very critical to the whole process of ensuring security at match venues. You see, there's another thing that we all have to get involved, have a look at. The club licensing process. How do we ensure that the standards that we have, even if we couldn't meet it 100%, because our clubs here, as I said initially, are not as well endowed as the clubs outside. So the facilities might not meet the huge standard that we're looking for. But let us make sure that at least the barest minimum in terms of, and I know that there was a meeting yesterday for all the clubs. I understand there's a statement going to be issued by the Executive Council of the Football Association, reaffirming all these decisions that were taken yesterday. For example, at pre-match conferences, the matters that are signed off are supposed to be implemented. Two, if the clubs get to the time frame that you've given for clubs to arrive at the match venue, if the home team doesn't arrive early, then there will be sanctions. That's very important. So everybody goes by the security protocols that have been agreed. If there's too much harassment and the away team cannot enter, there will be sanctions. Proceeding from the match commissioner as far as punishment for the home team who's preventing the away team from entering. These are good little things that we can do to ensure that, look, even if we don't have all the security, then at least people can go and watch matches and enjoy. Because look, money turns on all of this. If supporters don't feel comfortable that the family can go and watch a match and enjoy, then they're not going to go to watch the football matches, and then clubs are not going to earn money from the turnstiles.
Exactly.
So let's all realize that there's an obligation on all the football clubs to ensure that safety and security is provided at all these venues, so that the economic gain and the benefit from watching football would also be increased.
Great, thank you very much, Michael. We have under 1 minute. Let me just push this to you. So the GFA has suspended the league. During this period, what can be done? What should be done? What must be done?
The thing we are going to do is consultations with these particular football clubs involved, and consultations with the support body, which I personally see Kumasi, Asante, Koroko, and Ankrah folks should be the frontliners in these particular discussions. But unfortunately, you look at Koroko and their NCC, they've already pulled out of that meeting, citing about 4 reasons as to why they are not part of the meeting and what they want to see on the FA. I agree with them in some aspect that action speaks louder than words. We've had commissions in this country. We've had meetings upon meetings in this country. We've had consultations in this country. But we are yet to see actions when it comes to some of these hooliganism issues. We need something to happen. We need something to act. We need a plan to cool. We need something to work out. It's not all about meeting all of these days. So you have to agree with them But in some parts, you feel like they should also present whatever they want to happen. They want it to see happening in Ghana football whenever they meet with the GFA and try and get a result out of it. And they also feel that the police is even putting in more effort than even the Ghana Football Association. So that is where the lack of trust issues is coming from. And I think the reason why I feel Kotoko and Hearts should frontline this thing is they go to away games, and the moment they go to away games, they attract a lot of supporters at these venues. That is where some of these actions usually happen at West.
We want to see more actions.
So we are actually begging them that two of them should come together, work together, change the system, force a hand to do something. And at the end of the day, we can see something coming out of it.
Something coming out of it. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the show this afternoon. So we've had Michael Akomia, sports journalist. We have Thomas Nunu, retired referee. And we're joined by ace journalist Moses Fuamenin, sharing thoughts on how we can curb hooliganism in our football. Let us educate our people. We go to the field to go and enjoy the passion of our heart. There's no need to fight. There's no need to stab anybody. Football is our mainstay. Football is our passion as a nation. Let us go watch it and come back home safe and sound. It is a weekend. Drink enough water. Stay rested. I am back on your screens on Monday. Make a date with us on Monday for another session of The State. Gabriel to Ankrah. Goodbye.